Hi everyone, it's Jen here. I am doing a reading for the new moon on February 11th in the sign of Aquarius. Of course, we're in the sign of Aquarius right now with the sun. Um, so thank you for joining me. I am going to do this reading by element. We're going to go fire, water, air, and earth. So while I was shuffling, some already flipped out for fire. So let's just jump right into it. Get one more for fire. New moon in Aquarius. I always have trouble with these. Okay, what's at the bottom? The Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands kind of fits, you think, with Aquarius in the retrograde, because even though it's a fire sign, there's a thoughtfulness in this Three of Wands. They're looking out into the future. Often decks will have someone up on a very high cliff overlooking things. So it's getting that bird's eye view, zooming out, kind of like a drone. If you send a drone up in the air with a camera, it's amazing the perspective you get around you that you can't really see on the ground. And so it's a time of reassessing. Where have you been? Where are you now? Where are you going? And realizing that it's funny how, especially the pandemic, this is never going to end. We've been stuck in this thing. Is it ever going to end? It's hard to imagine, things changing at this point. But of course, things will move on, things will change. But it's as if you're saying, but what do I want to change? You're really looking at this as an opportunity to make some changes, do a recalibration. Where did I want to go? What were my dreams when I was younger? Where am I now? Where am I headed? And do I want to change that trajectory? Did I say that right? Trajectory. You may be considering moving. You may want to go move by water. You may be planning a trip. I know, I think a lot of people are assuming this year, next time we'll be able to travel and making some travel plans potentially. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying that's a possibility. Okay, let's keep reading. Here's a change in thinking. So that's Aquarius. Open your mind. Think about things in a new way. That phrase, out of the box thinking, is absolutely Aquarian. This could be switching up your website, switching up your branding, switching things up a little, or revisiting things and like a makeover, a refresh, fresh coat of paint, things like that. Not necessarily completely something brand new, but taking something you have and bringing it in a different direction, or bringing it up to speed. No, that's not. Bringing it up to, they said bring it up to speed. But I was thinking of something else. Bringing it current, update things, back things up, all of those good Mercury retrograde things. But this is, so here's where I am, but maybe I want to go somewhere else. That's Aquarian thinking. Maybe there's an opportunity in a situation going on now that I can, if I think about things differently, I can really take advantage and move forward in a new and different and refreshed way, even if I'm living in the same place. But a really perspective shifting cards right there. Nine of Pentacles. Some of you really want to be able to slow down and enjoy. So maybe some of you are planning for retirement, or saying, you know what, this is a little early, I'll figure it out. But the opportunity is presenting itself. I'm going to retire now. Moving, I definitely see movement, thinking about moving. But the Nine of Pentacles, it can be a single person, so you could be considering moving from your current living situation. Could be romantic, could be a roommate, could be, in your parents' house, could be anything. Making a move. And maybe that, or you're planning when your lease is up or something, to make a change. But she's just doing her own thing and enjoying it and enjoying what she does have. And she's very grounded and present. So that's a really nice energy in the time of Aquarius, where we're all in our heads and we're thinking a lot, and there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of stuff flying around the internet. And this is, I'm just going to go out and sit and chill and be in nature and be grounded and reconnect with the earth. So you may want to move someplace more rural, or someplace where you can have a garden or even potted plants on a balcony or something. But she does have a bird. It's usually a falcon, some sort of bird of prey. So it's like sending up that drone. So maybe some of you are getting a drone or doing something with a drone, taking pictures, or I don't know, because that's come up twice now. Flying as well. Let's see what this last is. The Emperor. Yeah, I feel like you're going to really get something straight in your mind, get your perspective. Something's going to click in your brain, and you're going to make some decisions about your life that may really change it, change where you're going, change how you live it. And maybe it's something you've always wanted to do, but you hadn't had the courage to do before. But the Emperor is, hey, be the emperor in your own life. Dig down and figure out what you want and make those changes without need for others. It's surprising how much we consider, and this doesn't mean if you're with someone or you have kids, you're not thinking of them. This isn't in a selfish way, but it's not living for what other people think or what society tells you should do, that type of thing. And or if you tell someone, oh, I'm thinking of moving here, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't move there. Oh, it's cold. It's this, it's that. That's their opinion. That's their fear-based thinking. That's all about the other person 99% of the time. So you have to think, oh, no, what do I want? I'm not going to make decisions based on my friends' fear-based reactions. I only know me and what I want. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I feel like, yeah, you're going to be brave. You may break out on your own. Maybe you'll start your own business, break out on your own, I heard. But I do see it a time of really shifting your thinking and making a different sort of plan and moving forward with a different mindset into a different way of life. These two are also looking at each other. So this is someone traditionally that's single, and this person's like just charging in here. It almost looks like a grumpy father. Like, this is her father, and he's like, I don't like him. I don't like him. He's talking to my daughter. So maybe actually, if you are young, I don't know how many young people watch my channel, but if you have been more tied to your family still, you may move out and move in with a significant other potentially as well. And it could be an exciting time. You guys are trying to figure out where you're going to move. Now, if you're older, it could be that same sort of feeling. If you remember back when you first lived on your own and you moved out and all that stuff, it's scary, but it's exciting. So you may kind of be, with this Mercury retrograde, reliving that sort of excitement and thinking, no, this is, where can I go now? What do I want to do? Like, this This is a positive thing. This is exciting. And let's move forward. Okay, so that is the reading for the fire signs. We are going to move on to the sign of water. The sign of water. The element of water. The water signs. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Who knows what I'm trying to say? Hi there, water signs. So this is your reading for the new moon in Aquarius on February 11th. It's going to depend on where you live. There was a gorgeous crescent moon out yesterday. How many came out? Well, we'll just take them all. Oops, Jesus. Actually, I'm going to put that as the bottom because that's the bottom. I really have trouble with these easel things. I'm lacking the finesse, I guess. All right, what's at the bottom here for the water signs? The world. So something may be wrapping up, coming to a conclusion. The world's usually a very positive card, but it's not necessarily good or, sometimes it just is, like a lease comes up and you need to move or want to move or have the opportunity to move. You finish school and you go on to something new. It's a good thing, but it's kind of just a cycle. So something naturally may be coming to an end. You may be finishing a degree or certificate or whatever, or starting to wrap that up. But the world, it's often points to a phase or a time in your life. You can look back and you think, okay, well, obviously, high school and college, that's pretty set. But then you can think, like, I lived back where I grew up, but for 10 years I lived on the other side of the state. So and I worked at a different place. So that's kind of a phase in my life. Living here is kind of a phase. It kind of depends. Working with certain people, certain jobs, there can be so it's maybe something is going to sort of naturally wrap up for you, or you are being at the bottom of the deck, planning those things, wrapping that up. Maybe I see packing to move too, wrapping it up. If you work in any sort of entertainment, it's a wrap? I'm hearing it's a wrap. This could be travel. This could be world issues. Okay, let's keep reading. Whoops. I tell you, I have so much trouble. Here you guys are, you water signs, this King of Cups, this mature water energy. For some reason, I'm getting Pisces is coming up next. Something that's wrapping up could really come to a culmination during Pisces, which is end of February to about March 20th. I'm seeing a timing issue. He's drinking. Maybe you're like, I've been just, I'm kind of getting maybe someone you're connected to might have a drinking problem. But the King of Cups in his positive light is a very caring and considerate personality, energy. They're very capable of sharing their feelings with you and expressing how they feel. It could be an offer of love from someone. Someone could say they love you for the first time, in your relationship. Not necessarily, it could be for the first time ever, but for the first time in your relationship. Oh, it could be a proposal. We have kind of forgetting that Valentine's Day is coming up right after this. So someone could be planning something romantic for Valentine's Day for you. Excuse me. The Two of Swords. Yeah, it could be a decision. I'm seeing it's almost like two full moons though. even though this is the new moon reading, which is kind of interesting. So maybe this will actually go out more to the full moon, which is, I think, on the 27th in Virgo. Having to make a decision, not knowing whether to go with your head or your heart. Maybe someone wants you to move in and you're like, it's not that you're not into them, but it feels a little soon. And you're kind of not sure. This card to me is a little bit of analysis paralysis. Like I'm not making a decision because I don't know what to make, but not making a decision is making a decision. You know that thing you hear. This incense smells so good, and it almost smells, I think it's pine, but it almost smells like a man's aftershave. It smells really good. So this person may smell really good. Wow. Okay, so, excuse me. The devil. Yeah. Yes. Could be a fuckboy. Like, such a devil. Oh, I'm seeing it now. So here it is. Here's the nice guy or person. Don't get hung up on gender. And here's the bad boy, the tempting person. Well, so you could have a decision to make regarding love around the new moon. Well, isn't that this doesn't surprise me for a water sign. Or trying to make a decision. Or maybe it's interesting. Or maybe you're like, hey, you pick between this bad habit you have or me. That's kind of a difficult way to start a relationship if it's new, right? So you have to think about that. If it's someone you've been with a long time and this kind of comes out, that's one thing. But if it's a brand new relationship and you're already seeing that they are actively struggling with something, it's not necessarily your job to get in there. So watch your codependency, because I'm getting a strong Libra vibe here. Interesting. Or maybe it's just your own, okay, I'm attracted to this person and this is the same, here I am with the same type of person. So I can see that going a bunch of ways. This came out for fire signs. This is so Aquarius. This is shift in perspective. You have to change how you're approaching it or looking at things. You may also just take off away from both of them, but I almost feel like once you make that decision you have to make, you're going to charge. You're just going to go in because you've gotten your mind around it. You've made your plan. You've made your decision. Jeez. And you're going to go for it. So it's going to be a change in the phase of your life. Once you make this decision, things will really take a turn. Take a turn. Okay, so I will leave that there for water, and now we're going to move on to the air signs. So, hi, air signs, how are you? Thank you for joining me. This is a reading for the new moon in Aquarius. Just a reminder, we are in Mercury retrograde, so with the new moon in Aquarius, it's really revisiting any sort of branding you have. If you have any websites, your communication, proofreading things, editing, it's an excellent time for that. Refreshing things. Okay, let's get a few cards here for, good Lord, air signs. These were great in theory, but I don't know, my hands are I'm not nimble enough or something for them. And then the candle's really hot right here. Okay, Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck for the air signs. We're in a collective hanged man moment, I like to say, with the pandemic. But the Hanged Man challenges you. Are you going to fight this and complain about it and be pissed about it? Or are you going to say, hey, I'm an introvert, maybe. I like to stay home. Why don't I enjoy it? Or I'm always busy and I say I never get to spend time with my kids or my family. Here's my chance. So trying to reframe. So here we go with the reframe something, shift your perspective, and see the positive and the opportunity in something. Now there is some rough water underneath, and it looks like in this card, which I never really noticed. So this could be a timeout from a relationship, or you've been taking a timeout from relationships and going within. They look like they're meditating. Oh, they look a little bit bat-like. I am reading a book with vampires in it, so. Yeah, so just taking a pause. Maybe you've been single for a while and just healing and going within and getting things set in your mind. Well, here's a beautiful new opportunity. So, air signs, if you've been waiting for a job, a promotion, this could be your taxes, finding out you're going to get money back. This could be the stimulus potentially. But this is an offering, an opening for the universe, a new path, a new opening up, a new doorway opening up. You could be planting seeds. Maybe you've decided you want to start your own vegetables or whatever if you're in the northern hemisphere for the summer, and you may be doing that now, starting your planning. So you're planning something, you're planting a seed. Maybe, again, if you have been on pause with something, this is planting the seed to get back out there. It looks like there's someone waiting. At my age, I need a magnifying glass. Someone's maybe been waiting for you, and you'll find that out and you didn't realize it. Or you just weren't sure because you needed this time to heal over here. But someone's waiting for you. Someone's waiting, ready to step through that gate, that doorway there, and step into a new. It looks kind of misty and mystical back there because lots of times when you start something new, you don't know how it's going to end out. You don't know how a relationship will go. You don't know how a job will go. You don't know how moving here will go. But I think you're ready to plant that seed and start on this new path. Oh, healing. Really reminding me of the vibe I was getting off the Hanged Man, but maybe I was getting it off this card. Meditating, healing, grounding. I did a grounding meditation called A Walk in Nature. I just kind of channeled. I don't know if it's any good or not, but you may want to check it out. I enjoyed doing it. Healing, meditating, calmness, being present. I do feel for your air signs. You are working on being grounded and feeling pretty calm, and really have done a lot of inner work. It's a nice vibe. Yeah, speaking of grounding, maybe we're all spending a lot of time at home. Spending time at home, you may be buying a new home, you may be refreshing or doing something with your current home. You may be working from home. You may start a new business. Here's this look like daffodils to me, the spring flowers. Moving someplace where you could have a garden. That's coming up for a lot of people. Where you can maybe you're making a meditation space and just buying a plant for it. I mean, it doesn't have to be I'm moving to, under the Tuscan sun, where you're moving to an estate or something. Moving estate to state. Moving state. You could be moving state or province or whatever the equivalent of where you live is. But she's just, so you have air signs, even with all this air energy and Aquarius and retrograde, you guys are really bringing out your spiritual tools, it seems like, and being grounded. And because of that, I think you are ready to step into this new opportunity. It's something you've really prepared for. So if you have anything, any presentations, applying for a job, apply for jobs, managerial positions. Often the job description is everything they could want, and you think, well, I don't do this or do that. They don't expect you to have everything. They're looking for your vibe almost, and because they could train people. So definitely apply for things, even if your ego is telling you, oh, no, you don't have the experience, you can't do that. Definitely apply for them. And here's if you apply for any loans or anything like that, you will get them. So a fresh, organic type of things. Maybe you've changed your diet and you're eating very organic or something like that as well. But I see you just spring cleaning your home, really making your house a home. This came up for maybe fire signs, like some new paint or feng shui, just really trying to make it comfortable. I think we've been at home sort of waiting to go back to work. And I know for me, I'm working at my kitchen table, which is my island, which is not comfortable for 8 hours of work, but I have. So maybe I'll buy a chair. Trying to say, okay, why don't I feel like I deserve to have a comfortable, functional space for me, and making something like that happen. All right. So that's what I got for the air signs. We are going to move on to earth signs. Hello, earth signs. How are you? Thanks for joining me. This is a reading for the new moon in Aquarius on February 11th. So we are still in a Mercury retrograde. And Aquarius is going to ask us to revisit things. How can you freshen it up, make it seem new, make it new again, make it so rebranding, refreshing, reviewing, maybe switch up the pictures on your website, or maybe doing something around the house. But it's really a thought sign. Aquarius is the out-of-the-box thinker, really pushing the envelope, seeing how you can break out of societal norms and constructs that keep us stuck because of the way our brain just has been trained to think a certain way. And if we can break free, we can really reach new levels and new heights, new inspiration. So at the bottom is the Judgment card. This is a wake-up call. This is oh my God, like really realizing something. And once you realize something, you can't go back, right? This is something that you will be like, oh, now that I've got this in that perspective right in my head, it's something I won't go back on. And it could be something as simple. I like to tell the story. My mom in her 40s started running, and now at 78, she still runs every day. So it's something that's going to stick, right? It's something that you won't go back on, because it's just not the way it works. When you have these wake-up calls, it's almost a do-over as well, which again in Mercury retrograde, I guess, makes sense. So, sorry. A wake-up call. The Empress, another major arcana. Mother Earth, fruition, pregnancy, giving birth to new ideas, a new way of life. She's Mother Earth. She's fruitful. She's organic. She encourages and supports. She doesn't demand and direct and force. She's just a constant supporting presence. So that could be, you may have this type of figure supporting and helping you, or you may be this for someone else, or both. This could be really taking things that have been in your head and bringing them into the tangible world, figuring that out. Maybe you're like, oh, this is how I do that. I've felt this creativity. I've wanted to do something differently, but I didn't know what to do. And now it's all coming together because you've had this aha moment. And she's like, okay, well, let's just let it flow, let it come out the way it comes out. Let's not be too attached to a really specific outcome and allow it to form and shift and shape into its final product, whatever that may be. This could be working with the earth, gardening, Mother Earth. Oh, another earth energy for the earth signs. For me, the Seven of Pentacles, it's having patience, it's tending to things. Again, I very much see her as the gardener, right? Planting the seed. She plants the seeds. She doesn't, you know what I mean? So that could be thoughts, just planting the seeds, giving encouragement. You know, she doesn't force, but she just drops something here and there. So someone may plant a seed in your brain about something, and you're like, you've never forgotten it, or you're really thinking about it, really hit you in the right way. And the Seven of Pentacles, that's her out there tending the garden, making sure, weeding, making sure there's water, but just steadily tending and nurturing and just waiting for things to grow and to come to fruition. So something that you've been tending for a while is really starting to bear fruit, is really starting to show up in your life and be more tangible. So you're starting to see achievements. There's a timing aspect to the Seven of Pentacles. And so, yes, if you're planting something, it's really obvious if it's grown or not. You know, if you plant a seed and 2 weeks later nothing's happened, it's probably not going to grow. But it's a more difficult thing to understand, to quantify with things like relationships, or when is this going to get better? When it is not finite. It's not obvious. Have I tried hard enough? Do I need to try harder? Is this going to work? And I think you're going to have some sort of clarity around a situation that maybe you're like, does this person like me? What's going to happen here? What's going to, this behavior has been bothering me. I've talked to them about it. I don't know. And it could go either way where, but I feel like you're going to very clearly know what you should do. Look, I've been patient enough. I can now make this decision and feel confident in my decision because I have been nurturing and patient. And so I know I've done what I can. Of course, we can only control ourselves. Wow, new love. Look at that beautiful card. I definitely see a new child coming in. So this doesn't mean you're getting pregnant necessarily, if that doesn't make sense, but you could hear about a child in your family or your friends if it isn't happening to you or your significant other. But this is something that elicits a new emotional beginning. So this could definitely be new love coming in. And I see it like you've been working on yourself, and you've been patient, and you've been waiting for the right vibe, the right energy, the right person, the right opportunity, the right job to come in, and it is here. But it took some sort of wake up call, some sort, again, maybe that the right thing said at the right time. It could be a song lyric you hear. It could be something someone randomly says to you in line, or something you hear on a podcast. It's something you read in a book. It doesn't have to be, I'm reading, some sort of course I can't think of anything. My mind just went blank. Doesn't you have to be reading War and Peace or something? It doesn't have to be that complicated, but it hits you in such, it could be something a little kid says to you. Sometimes they're a conduit, a channel, and they can just say things so succinctly and simply that it's just like, whoa, I had been overthinking that. I've been making this too complicated. And just they just break it down to the bare bones, the things that matter most. And then you're really able to have that clarity and move forward. And it's bringing in, I mean, these are beautiful cards. It's bringing in a really grounded, loving, supportive energy for you guys, for you earth signs. So I love to see that. So that is your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye.